Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I thought I would do a really quick review on the Coach boutique version of the notebook. I've already done a video on the outlet version, so I thought I would do a review on this version of the notebook and also do a comparison in case you were curious about the differences. And I thought this would be helpful now that I actually have my hands on one in real life instead of just looking at the specs on the website. So I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, so it might be over, but at the time I did pick this up during their Mother's Day sale, so I got a 25% discount on this. Full price, it's $95 Canadian on the website, and then they also have more expensive versions with like designs on the actual leather, and those ones I believe go for $120 Canadian. So that's kind of where it's standing. This is the plain version though, so there's no additional designs on the cover, and this one is in the color Faded Orange, which I was automatically drawn to. I really like this color. It's kind of like a nice orange creamsicle sort of color, so loving that. But aside from that, I also used Rakuten, so I waited around because it was going on for quite some time, like over a week. So I actually picked it up with an additional 15% cash back from Rakuten, which was awesome. So altogether, with all the discounts and after tax, this actually came out to about $64 Canadian, which I think is a really great price for this. But starting with an overview, so again, like I mentioned, it is plain on either side of the cover. It does have a turn-lock closure, and this is in the Coach brass hardware. On the back side, it does have in gold stamping. Right on the bottom, it says original natural leather, and then it just has the Coach logo debossed on that tab right there, which is the closure. On the inside, it is a darker brown leather for the inside. Of course, it does actually come with a notebook as well, so you can use that. And of course, you can fill it out with any other notebooks as well. But here you can see the difference in the color from the outside and the inside. On the spine on the inner side, it has just Made in India, which is debossed, and then it also has the usual kind of Coach Crete stamping. And this one though says this is a Coach notebook, all the other stuff that it usually does. So that's pretty much it. Really simplistic design, exactly like the outlet version as well. And this is just a really great option to consider though if you are a fan or looking for a really nice quality leather notebook cover. As I mentioned, it does actually come with a notebook, so you can use this. And this one I will definitely need to do a comparison, which I will do later in this video, between the outlet version and this one. But it kind of has this clear plasticky cover on the cover part, and then aside from that it's just black and has Coach. On the back it has this additional kind of plain white cover sort of thing, and then it just goes with the black cardstock as well. On the inside it's lined, and like I mentioned in my previous video on the Outlook notebook, it also does come with the exact same blurbs about kind of like the Coach brand and everything like that. There's just one every, couple of pages or so, so it's quite nice. And then the back also just has another blurb about Coach and notebooks, that sort of thing. So that's a really quick overview of this notebook cover. It did come in a really nice box though, so this one is definitely different in comparison to the outlet version. It came in this really sturdy box, and it was wrapped when it came with a Coach ribbon as well. So like I mentioned earlier, this would actually be a fantastic gift if you have someone in your life that really enjoys notebooks and that sort of thing. I think this would be great. It comes with everything that you need to package it up nicely for a gift. So that was a really nice touch that I thought this notebook from the boutique came with. So my thoughts overall on this one is it's quite nice. I don't know if I would pay full price for the boutique version of this notebook, and I'll tell you kind of why now that I'm going to do a comparison with the outlet version. So funny enough, the outlet version compared to this one, if you look at the specs, it actually makes this one look like a quarter of an inch taller than the outlet version, but they are actually identical in size. So according to the website, it is about 6¾ inches wide, and I would say they're both about 8½ inches tall, so there's no difference. This is kind of great because they are both so happen to be the plain leather version. for both the outlet and the boutique version. And to be honest, just looking at it, feeling it and all that, the leather feels identical on both notebook covers. So just to keep in mind for that. This one, of course, came in the usual kind of Coach outlet packaging, so it was really well wrapped in plastic and all that sort of thing, but of course it didn't come with a box. So aside from that, of course the packaging is different, but otherwise everything else is pretty much the same. If you're looking at the back of it, this one doesn't have any Coach marking on the tab, but here on the back it has the Coach logo debossed. Of course, the main difference you'll see is the hardware. This one is just a button closure, and versus this one, of course, is the turn lock, and this is in the Coach brass hardware, versus this outlet version is in the shiny gold hardware. Inside, and I'm actually just going to remove the notebook because it also comes with a notebook. This one is just a plain leather as well. It's the same color as the outside. I did notice a lot of the Coach notebooks from the outlet that are coated canvas, they'll often come with a different colored interior in leather versus the outside, which is a coated canvas, but this one is just the same, so that's a little bit different from the outlook versus the boutique version. But aside from that, to be honest, again, the leather thickness and everything feels identical. On the inside, it has in gold stamping just the made in India, and that's in the spine, and then aside from that, it doesn't have any of the stamping otherwise. So that's a really quick comparison between the covers, but as you can see, they are pretty much identical. I think a huge difference I would have to say is actually the notebooks that they come with. I don't purchase these for the notebooks, but they're also a really nice thing to have with the actual notebook cover. So this is the outlet version versus the boutique, which looks like this. So right off the bat, you can see it's different. The outlet version is rounded corners versus the boutique version is just straight. And the coils on the outlet version are in silver, and they're much more closely spaced versus the boutique version is in black, and it's a little bit wider in terms of the spacing for the coils. And the inside is the same with the content as well as they're both lined. However, as you'll probably notice, the outlet version actually has much darker lines. I do prefer a lighter line, but aside from that, it's the same spacing and everything like that. And I would say the major difference is the cover. So the outlet version is a very hard cover, which is really nice in my opinion. So you'll notice that if I open it, this is very hard to bend. It's almost like a plastic. That is how hard it is, and it's actually really great because it makes it really easy to slot into the notebook cover versus the boutique version, which is a very flimsy cover. It's almost like a light cardstock. That's kind of it. So that's a little bit disappointing for this. I actually much prefer the outlet notebook, and I wish that this would be the same as this one. So these are both great to use to write in, but another thing to note is I still stand by my statement about liking the button closure. Not only is it super convenient, you can just pop it open and then push it shut, but also when you're actually using the notebook, because it's just a flat button, it will lie perfectly flat, so you can use, you can use your notebook actually still in this cover, and you can write on this side no problem. Versus with the turn lock, because this part sticks out so much, when you actually have it lying flat, this will not go flush with the surface, so you can't really write on this side, and that can be quite annoying if you need to use that spot, unless you like take out the notebook and then use it that way. So just kind of an interesting thing to note. Overall, if you were to ask me which notebook I would recommend, I'd still go with the outlet version. I think especially for the price, at the time when I got this one, there was a bunch of discounts, so I actually got this for about, I think it was 27 Canadian dollars, so even cheaper than this at 64, and everything else is pretty much the same. So especially if you're looking for something like the plain leather, or if you're looking for coated canvas, I think the Coach outlet notebook is definitely the way to go. But yeah, that's about it. I hope this video was really helpful if you were kind of considering either going with the outlet version or the boutique version of the Coach notebook cover or the Coach notebook. I think it really comes down to what you like the most, especially in terms of design. If there is something from the Coach Boutique in terms of the notebook that you really like, definitely recommend still checking it out or considering it. But if you were to ask me, I would definitely say the Coach Outlet notebook is a winner. So I hope that video was helpful though. Like I mentioned, thank you as always for taking the time to watch my videos, especially for those that subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer them. But aside from that, I hope you all have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.